The PoPolitickin show is brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 titles to choose from, Audible is great for any continuous learner wanting to grow and expand their knowledge and insight. Go to www.audibletrial.com/POAudio and get an audiobook of your choice free with a 30-day trial. After the trial, your paid membership will begin at $14.95 per month. With your membership, you will receive 1 credit every month, good for an audiobook on Audible. Cancel before your trial ends and you will not be charged. So go to www.audibletrial.com/POAudio and download a free book by Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Damon John, and more. Always remember that knowledge is power.
Yo, what's up? This is Lena Jackson, and I'm on the PoPolitickin show. Hit me up at lenajacksonmusic.com and check out my new EP, Darkness Brim.
Tears I've cried in a glass of wine. All the pride I've felt to have inside will revive if I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh yeah. Sipping Rex Goliath and I'm wishing I was David. 1 stone left, but I'm thinking I should save it for the next giant. Trying to take over my mind, steady trying to break me down like an enzyme. The demons in my head telling me I cannot make it, just like Satan to say I could not succeed until I fake it. The blatant misuse of my talent would be futile. The damage it would do to my ego would be brutal. I try to represent for the youngins back at home who feel as if they're going through the struggle all alone, desperate to be a sign of short. So I floss on my allure and disguise it with demure. Feeling so impure, so I'm searching for a cure for this pain that I endure. The savior that I seek lives deep down inside of me, but it's so hard to be sure. That's why I say if I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Eye from an eye, heartbroken, pondering vengeance daily. Sipping something strange to change whatever ails me. I barely made it out alive this time. I fear the next interaction, I won't survive benign. I just wanna leave this world behind me. I don't belong in this world, reminds me. Want me silent, want me following blindly. If that's the case, please don't be affected by exes. Absence of my face checking. Now you fiending for me, so expectant. Been rejected, but he projected. The show must go on. Wondered if he feel the same with Wonder Woman gone. Pseudo bros, legion of hoes, so strategic. With no allegiance, make him sad he rubbed this woman wrong. This is a song for me, but it's also a song for you. Should you accept it to rep what you've been going through? Far too often our hearts shrouded in darkness, so light it up if you spark and just embark it at the end of the tunnel. If I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, this world will funnel off your dreams if you let it run you. So let your passions take action. May that everlasting sun shine its light upon you. Cause I ain't done. The rabbit's got the gun and I'm aiming for the prizes I've already won.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you download our app. We're on iHeartRadio, we're on Spreaker, we're on Podomatic. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we're probably there. And I'm now politicking with Lena Jackson. How you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm great. So I read that you're from Raleigh, so I just want you to talk about, your hometown. How was the community out there?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. So that's the state's capital. And I was born and raised there. The part of town where I grew up at, the South Side, wasn't all that great growing up. I dealt with a lot of poverty and I guess what people would call like the ghetto and things like that. But I made it through, and I still have a lot of love for my city. I would like to say that Right now that I'm grown and I'm an adult and I see some things that are going on, and I'm sure it's like this all over the country somewhere because I've been hearing it, but there's a bit of gentrification going on
Oh
in my
yeah.
city. Yeah, so yeah, there's certain people that live there, and now they really can't afford to live there, and it's unfortunate because um, they've been there all their lives, and they could have I felt like they could have had an opportunity to maybe live in better places. Like I mean I felt like I could have lived in a more suitable type of housing, and now they're putting condos up, and I can hardly afford it myself. So
Okay. And then why is music important to you?
um music is important to me because it just gives me this opportunity to tell my story in a way that I prefer over any other way. Um, I love to write. I love to write short stories. I love to write poetry. I'm a writer. But for me, music, and more specifically, hip hop, is just that window to really just let it all out and say what you need to say, and whether people hate it or love it. For me, it's just a chance to just be raw and be authentic. So that's my first love right there.
And then do you write every day?
Yeah, I write every day. Some things are definitely better than others, but I try to make it a point to just write every day, just to keep my brain strong and keep my pen game nice. So
Okay. And then what is hip hop to you?
um, hip hop is just my freedom. It's liberation to me. I know I mentioned that you know music, it helps with that freedom of expression, but hip hop in particular, um, it has saved me from a lot. Growing up and being able to listen to you know s- uh, all different range of emotions, from love to hate to angst, to struggle to triumph. It's just always been like that support system when it seemed like nobody else was around. So it's just like that. That's my sidekick.
And then talk about your can you talk about your background in music, how you got involved?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I started out writing poetry,
Yeah.
and then when I got about maybe about 12 or 13, um, I was a tomboy, so I was always hanging with the boys anyway. But I would be in the cafeteria, and the boys would be beating on the tables and doing their raps and all. So they'd have like the little cipher session going, and I used to look at them, and I'm just like, I can do that. And I can do it better. That was my thought process when you're, a 12, 13-year-old girl. And so I just kind of jumped right into that, and kind of used that skill from writing poetry and just kind of incorporated that into, um, the that demeanor, that aggressive demeanor and that powerful demeanor when you're rapping, or you're battling, which I don't really battle, but just that whole just jumping in and getting into the groove of things. So I mean, from that point on, I just couldn't stop. So I've been rapping ever since. When I was, I'd say about 10 or 15 years ago, um, when I was so young, like you're extremely young and you're trying to, you know, get into the game of music, as far as it actually being like a business and a brand. You don't really know what you're doing, and you have your heart is in it, but you may not have the knowledge or the guidance. And that was kind of my thing, especially being a young woman. Um, I gave up a lot, so I told myself, some years back that I wasn't going to give up this time, and I was just going to, keep surviving and make it through, because I felt like I had something that I needed to deliver. So that's where I'm at now.
I'll say, what did you give up when you said I gave up a lot?
Well, when I say I gave up a lot, I mean I gave up many times as far as
Oh,
feeling
okay.
defeated. Yes, sir. So, yeah, so there's just times when I just quit hip hop as far as actually trying to pursue it as a career. I mean, I still loved hip hop and I would still write and, I'd still have songs in my head, but it was frustrating, trying to kind of maneuver and kind of make a name for myself and things of that nature when you don't really have support and you don't have all of the knowledge that you really need. So, yeah, I gave up many times, but I was just like, I'm not giving up this time. So
That's it. So what motivates you to keep going?
Well, I have a family now, and for some people, what I've noticed that for people they have a family, they tend to focus on their family, and sometimes they'll put certain things to the side. And for me, it was kind of the opposite. I mean, family is my primary number one focus, but I wanted to be able to show my son that you can still live your life, create a family, get married, whatever you need, wanted to do in life, and still accomplish goals, that were dreams of yours, even as a young kid or whatever. I wanted him to know that mommy still accomplished her dreams. So that really just drives me because I just want to set an example for him. I mean, he's just a baby still, but I want to set an example for him. And also, my husband, he's also an artist as well, so he understands it. He can give advice and guidance, and he's always very encouraging. So to me, it's the best position I've actually ever been in, emotionally and mentally and financially to really go after my dreams. So yeah, here I am.
That's tight. So who are some of your influences as far as artists?
Yeah, some of my main influences were Outkast, Nas, Missy Elliot, because she just, she's just always been phenomenal, especially a young girl, seeing her just be whatever she wanted and say whatever she wanted, and she didn't always fit this ideal box of what society wanted a woman to look like. So it was just, she just blew my mind for me, and she still blows my mind to this day. And also Bone Thugs and Harmony, just Bone Thugs and Harmony and Outkast are kind of how I learned like certain techniques as far as breath control and things of that nature. So I definitely salute them and their artistry.
And what's your favorite your Missy song?
Ooh, my favorite one. My favorite song would probably be. That is a hard question. Because what I'll say is her first album would probably be my favorite, and she had so many up there. When she did "Sock It to Me," which most of that was actually her singing,
Yeah.
but when she did "Sock It to Me" with Debrat, I was just so blown away by that song because it was too powerful for women, and it was actually Debrat that came in and just killed that song with just
Yeah.
So, to this day, I mean that's one of my favorite songs up there. But I have so many. I've never actually been asked that question, but yeah.
And then I want you to give us your Outkast and Bone songs.
Oh wow! All right. So my favorite song with Bone Thugs and Harmony is always going to be the East 1999 track off of their album, the East 1999 Eternal album.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many more, but that one right there.
What you like about that one?
Say what now?
What you like about that song?
It's the harmony, the bass, well, harmony, of course, the bass, and it's just so, it's so catchy. But I mean, like all to me anyway, me personally, all the Bone Thug stuff was catchy, you know. But that one I can just listen to over and over and over again. So yeah, but but for Outkast, my favorite song, it's actually the title track for their Aquemini album. Also was Aquemini. That's to me that was one of their deepest songs. I mean, they have a lot of deep stuff, but that one right there was just one of those, like I said, one of those I could kind of play back always. And I mean, know all the words to, and know all the inflections, just like everything. Like Aquemini is just um, hands down my favorite album by them. But that particular song, sometimes I'll just listen to the instrumental, and just lay back or whatever. But yeah.
And then I want you to talk about your style, because I was listening, like I see you rap and you were singing, so just talk about your style as an artist.
Um, my style is, I would say that it's kind of raw. Um, and I try not to be in your face raw, but it's more so whatever happens. I'm going to say what I need to say. And if I need to tone it down to get that message out, or if I need to turn it up to get that message out, I will. So I would say that it's raw and that it's unapologetic. Um, and I try to um, I try to show respect to the people that have given me influence. So sometimes when people come back and they give me any type of comparisons to anybody, I'm definitely not trying to mimic anybody, but I understand when they come back and they say that they compare my flow to I actually had somebody compare my flow to Andre's, which I don't believe it at all. I don't believe that at all. But if that's the case, and if that's how they really feel, then I would understand, because I've studied his breath control. I've studied his inflections before.
You remind
So
me, I was when I was listening to you, I was thinking about Queen Latifah.
yeah, I've gotten that one before. I've gotten that one before also. Which I absolutely love Queen Latifah as well, and MC Lyte. And Queen Latifah had always had that unapologetic thing about her.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is I'm going to talk about what I need to talk about, and you either like it or you don't. And the topics that I talk about are pretty much that way. I know that with my subject matter, it really just depends. I have a song about domestic violence, and people could either take it or leave it. Some people may not want to hear anything like that, and then for some people it resonates with them. So I'm not necessarily trying to cater to anybody, but hopefully they like what I have to offer.
What was the song about domestic violence talking about? What was you talking about in the song?
Well, the song is called House of Blues. And it's basically talking about it. I'm using it from my perspective, talking about abusive relationship that I'm in, that I keep making excuses for, or that I keep dealing with. And towards the end of it all, I finally find some strength to go ahead and just exit the situation. But in the meantime, it winds up being this roller coaster. And it's not for any other reason but to just go ahead and put it out there. I can't tell anybody what to do in their relationship. And I'm not trying to preach to anybody. It's just me telling my story. And I incorporated a couple of elements from other people's story that didn't want to tell their story, because I felt like some of those things are important to know, and some of those things that other women can identify with, that just like, hey, this happened to me. So I felt like that was something necessary. But I also know that story may not resonate with other people, and that's fine.
All right.
They don't necessarily have to embrace that, but that's just who I am.
Then I was listening to the your EP. It was called Darkness Brim.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so I just want you to talk about it. I was liking it. I got like halfway through before I called you.
Or that's what's up. Yeah. So it's called Darkness Brim. The overall theme of Darkness Brim is me presenting myself as an imperfect person, imperfect situation, just an experience that involves some of the darker aspects of living that we don't typically want to talk about, either in life or in hip hop. Um, so I know I mentioned domestic violence, but I also talked about my upbringing, as far as being in poverty and being homeless at times. I talk about, I have a song called Therapy Couch where I'm pretty much talking about um, some of the stuff that I've gone through as far as dealing with grief and dealing with anger and hatred, and but what it is really trying to shine a light on mental health, because I've also I have a lot of experience in the mental health field and working with people. So these are experiences that I've seen in so many other people. But as a professional in my life, I haven't had that opportunity to tell these people, hey, I'm going through the same thing, or I've been through the same thing. So this is kind of my opportunity or my way of doing that, and just letting people know that, like, I'm similar to, or I've had similar experiences, and we're probably more alike than you think, or than you want to really admit. But that these may not be the happier moments, but they're the realest ones sometimes.
And then I want you to talk about the album cover, cause like you was yelling on it or something.
Yeah. I was screaming, and I was clutching my head because it's like feeling the pressure of trying to hold everything in. Um, we as a society, we always have to present ourselves as being put together and being composed, and I'm not that way. I can do it, but it doesn't feel normal for me if I'm not okay. Then after a while, something's gonna boil over. So you know, I kind of wanted to express that on the album cover. Also in the album cover, on the album cover, if anybody were to go and look at it, I'm also wearing brass knuckles, and I'm wearing a chain. And those actually came from my father. My father passed away last year, and it was very, very difficult for me. But I try to pay some type of homage to him in everything that I do now, because he was always so proud of anything that I did in life, but especially the music. So I try to give that nod to him.
And then you was talking about your family. And what are some of your other interests outside of music?
Um, Well, yeah, music, family. So I'm very family oriented, and I'm also very youth oriented. So I like to be involved in community efforts, especially if they are going towards the youth or focusing on the young people. I just know how difficult it was when I was a teenager, and I was trying to find my way, and I was struggling. And um, a lot of young people that I work with now, and I mentor and talk to, they've gone through situations that, I couldn't even fathom. Um, so I try my best to give them any type of advice or guidance, or whether it's about music, because a lot of them want to know about music, or anything. That's like another love of mine, to try to give that type of guidance to the youth, and that show some love to the youth, and let them know that they're not alone in what they're doing. So I'm very people oriented, and I feel like um, I'm doing my part to try to make this world a better place if I'm investing in other people.
Then you have any favorite books?
Um, I have a lot of like self-help books.
What's your,
You know, they're self-help books, and then like the holistic medicine type of books.
yeah, I like those books. Which ones you be reading?
Um, well, like they have the which they people don't. It's neither here nor there because some stuff people don't believe in. But I used to read the Kevin. I'm gonna mispronounce his name. The Kevin Trudeau. But he had the books that were basically picking apart all of the things that we would eat in the industry, in the food industry,
Uh huh.
and why they were toxic for us. And just like corn syrup and fructose and things of that nature, like what it was doing to our bodies, and telling us how to heal our bodies. So my father and I would actually read those books, and read it's a pretty old book called Back to Eden. But basically in that frame of that category of stuff, I really haven't gotten into nonfiction. I mean, not nonfiction, into fiction, stories and stuff like that. It's been a while for me since I've done that, but um, I'm still open to it. I'm still open to fiction. It just has to be a really good story.
And then, far as like artist management, what would you say are the top three things a manager should do for artists?
Um, the main thing is, well, for me personally,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the main thing is that I want a manager to believe in me. I don't want them to just see, um, you know, um,
Check.
a dollar sign, or something to just say that they're working with a certain type of artist or anything like that. I want them to be like, I really believe in this person. And I know that when it comes to the business, things can get kind of shaky because there's some people that are just like, well, business is business. And I understand that business is business, but I want people to have a heart too. And that's a bit of my downfall, but I need them to actually care. So care, be able to make time, and also to just be clear. I'm very adamant about people being clear with each other. So I need somebody to be clear with me. I don't like a whole lot of gray area. I don't like a whole lot of mystery. Tell me what's going on.
Hmm. All right. And what are some ways the artist can like grow their
Um, one of one of the best things that I've figured out, is to, number one, keep learning. So don't ever think you know enough, or or you know too much or anything like that, because there's always something new to learn. So ask questions, read articles. I read different types of articles about the music industry every day. Um, so
What
so
do you
so
read?
always, well, there's articles and newsletters and things of that nature that come from different companies, like ASCAP, for example.
Hmm.
When it comes to like articles on publishing, or they talk about how the industry is, which genre the industry is leaning more so towards. Like right now, hip hop is one of the biggest genres right now, than any other genre as far as what the industry is interested in. Um, and just so I just like just learning how and why and all this other stuff, but that's important for just being open to learn, is a great way to know how to keep working on your brand and expanding on it, um, but also networking, and really getting out there, and trying to get to know people, and letting them see a certain side of you. There's nothing wrong with business, of course, and keeping it professional, but allowing people to see a certain aspect of your personality, and actually trying to learn about what other people do, because they they can open up doors for you if they like you, or if they think that you're a genuine person, or if they think that there's a possible way to collaborate. then you never know what doors can open for you. And I've had plenty of doors open for me just by knowing how to greet people, and how to have a conversation with people, in person,
How
or
do you greet people? Give us
um,
a lecture.
well, I I try to stay approachable, number one, when I'm out and about, because there's people that come up to me, and I don't know if they're, I don't know what they're coming up to me for until, of course, they're in my face and they're talking to me. So I try to just be approachable, and smile and things of that nature. So uh, I'll introduce myself. I'll shake hands. I smile. I'm like that with everybody pretty much. So that's something that my father taught me, because he was always so genuine and cheerful and stuff like that. And I'm very similar to my father in that regard. And just willing to kind of listen, because sometimes people just want to talk. They might want to talk about what they're doing, and or they may want to talk about what they're feeling. And I have a therapist background, so that kind of works out for me. I don't mind listening to people, and I don't mind talking back to them. So sometimes people are just like, you're easy to talk to, and I've gotten contacted about doing a show or something like that, just by having one conversation with someone. So it works.
What about eye contact?
Yeah, eye contact.
Cause I don't know, cause I'm
Not,
just saying, cause cause you're a woman, and I know like most guys, like if a woman make a certain eye contact, they think that the woman might be interested.
yeah. But what I've found out is that they tend, a lot of men tend to think I'm interested no matter what. And so,
You
you
like that
know,
don't matter.
yeah, so and I can't help that. I just have to be able to know what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do, and know how to set my boundaries. So I'm not mean to anyone. I don't mean mug anyone, or anything like that, because it, honestly, if somebody's interested in you or they want to try to pursue you, then they're going to keep trying anyway. But I'm pleasant with people. I give them eye contact. I smile. I will shake their hand and I'll say good night, sir. Just so they know that hey, I'm creating a boundary here. So,
And then what's the vision for your career? Like, where do you see your career like 5 years from now?
well, I definitely want to keep expanding and keep growing. Um, I'm still on the fence as far as whether I want to stay independent or if I want to pursue something major. Um, it really depends on what could work out in my best interest, and somebody that may be actually looking out for my best interest, and have to be smart about it. But just definitely expanding any type of fan base, being more visible, doing more songwriting and voiceover work, because I'm very interested in both. um, and so so that way I know that I'm not just out here just rapping for a crowd or for the entertainment aspect of it, and putting something else in somebody else's pockets. I need to be able to take care of my family as well. So just also have something to kind of cushion that, and sometimes those other pockets of the entertainment industry, like voiceover work or songwriting or things of that nature, those things can kind of help. So, I'm gonna keep rapping till it's not fun anymore. It's still fun for me. So,
Are you gonna do anything with the writing side? On the writing side?
um, yeah, I don't really, I can't really say that I want to be a ghostwriter or anything like that. But it really depends on the situation. I may, but for me, my stuff is so personal and so close to me that I feel like it'd be giving away a part of me. Um, but I would definitely be interested in actual songwriting. For some reason, the ghostwriting, like rap songs, hip hop songs and stuff like that, I'm so unsure about. But as far as like R&B songs or any other song, like, you know, because I listen to all different types of music, so I write for all different types of music, and I'm you know, I'm game for that, for songs.
Who's your favorite R&B artist?
Jill Scott. It's a toss up. It's a toss up between Jill Scott and Maxwell.
All right, so you know what I'm about to ask next. What's your favorite songs from both of them?
Oh Lord, Maxwell. Whew, that's a hard one, boy. Um, Jesus Christ. Um, mm, mm, mm. That's got me stuck. That's a hard one.
I
That
like
is
that some though.
You know what? If I can't say for sure, but I'm gonna lean towards it. The something something is dope, but the actual remix that he did the something something mellow smooth cut, and that was on the Love Jones soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a real slow, like sensual, like that song used to drive me bananas. Like I was just like, and I love the original something something, but the slow remix version that he did was incredible to me. So yeah, as far as Jill Scott, I mean they both are. See, that's the thing about me and my favorite artists. Like it's so hard for me to just pick. Um, but whew, Lord, I would have to say a long walk is probably a very special one. You know, for me when she did the long walk, because that song and that video were just perfect for me. I loved it.
And what would you like to say to all your fans and supporters?
I would like to say if you are already liking me, you know who I am. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for any encouragement, for any feedback, for any comments, any attention whatsoever, because you don't have to do it, and you don't, everything is optional. So, anytime someone reaches out to me and they say that they like something, I mean, I am so grateful. If you don't know who I am yet, understood. I get that, but that's all right. You have an opportunity to listen, and if you're at all interested, then I thank you for that too.
I want to say thank you for coming through politicking with me.
All right, thank you for having me so much. I really appreciate you.
No doubt. You want to tell me your social media and everything?
Yes, please. Well, I have a website. You can come check it out. It's lenajacksonmusic.com. And if you want to reach out to me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of those, it's always L Jack Power. So LJACKPOWER. Just you can come and follow me, message me, stalk me a little bit. It's all right.
I'm gonna say I was gonna give you props on the website. It's pretty clean. Like most people's website be kind of off a little bit, but yours was pretty official.
Word, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
PoPolitickin.com.
Thanks for listening to PoPolitickin.com, a self-help meets hip-hop brand. If you are an artist or business owner wanting to be featured on PoPolitickin.com, contact us at PoPolitickin@gmail.com. That's PoPolitickin@gmail.com or text 760-717-5803. If you're a listener that enjoys the show and wants to support, you can donate to PoPolitickin.com via PayPal.com. Please send donations to PoPolitickin@gmail.com. Any amount will be helpful in continuing to create quality content and shows. As always, check out PoPolitickin.com for past episodes. Make sure you subscribe to PoPolitickin on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play.